Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite books called The Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I want to talk about how to apply his principles to our weight loss goals. As I always say, weight loss doesn't start from a diet or controlling the food that you eat. It starts in here. It starts in your brain, and as long as you know how to control and master your mind and how to build new habits, you will be able to lose weight no problem. So if you're excited, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and let's get started. By the way guys, if you haven't met yet, my name is Seppi and I'm the founder of Helix Academy in Toronto. I just recently created this channel to share with you the best research and practical advice on how to become limitless in and outside of school. So if you're interested in my content, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. James Clear in this book mentions that every habit is basically a loop. It starts with a cue, which triggers craving, which motivates a response, and it leads to a reward after, and leads to what ultimately goes back to the cue. So let's say you have a habit of buying a cookie from Starbucks every single day when you go home from school or from work. So the cue in this case would be the Starbucks sign, which will have you go into the store, and it motivates your response of buying the cookie, and then it leads to your reward ultimately of having the dopamine release in anticipation or while you're having the actual cookie. Talks about in order to lose a bad habit, you have to make sure you make the cue invisible, you make the craving unattractive, you make the actual response very hard, and you make the reward unsatisfying. And let's talk about how we can do that in this example of Starbucks and buying a cookie. So in order to make sure I make the cue invisible in this case, I have to make sure I don't see the Starbucks sign. I either have to be distracted when I'm passing by, I'm talking to somebody, or I'm doing something, or I change the path that I take when I go home usually. That little small change would trigger something in your brain. Because you don't see that cue, you will be less likely to be tempted to buy that cookie. Okay, so let's talk about how to actually make the craving unattractive. Let's say when you buy your cookie, and it's okay if you already bought it, you come home and you watch a Netflix show and you have a cup of tea. So you want to change that a little bit. You want to start having your cookie in the kitchen or standing up in the bathroom or something different that you're already doing. So the trick with this is that you're tricking your brain to do things differently so you don't fall into the same routine. When you start doing things differently, it could be as simple as what we're just talking about right now, but it will change things in your brain and you will start doing things differently a little bit. So when you decide not to have that cookie, it will be easier for you to come home, have a cup of tea, stay and watch Netflix, and not be used to having that cookie in your hand anymore. You understand what I mean? If this is making sense to you, make sure you let me know in the comments, and if it doesn't, also let me know in the comments and we'll go through it in another video. So now let's talk about making the actual response very difficult. Nowadays, most of us have access to our digital wallets on our phones. We can tap our cards. We have applications for our favorite coffee shops. We have Starbucks apps. So what we want to do, we want to get rid of all of them. If it's possible for you to leave your credit cards at home, do it. If it's possible for you to use cash only, that would be a great idea for you to start doing. Make sure you delete all of those apps that reward you for using it more. So if you get rewarded for buying that cookie, your brain is going to associate that with a good thing, and it's going to get you excited for doing that. So make sure you don't do that with your brain. So now let's talk about the last part and how to make the reward unsatisfying. Let's say you did all of the other 3 steps and you still ended up with that cookie in your hand. So you still have the cookie, but you have to promise yourself, for example, to do 10 push-ups after you did that, or do 10 squats, or whatever that works for you, whatever your favorite or least favorite exercises. So make sure you make the reward unsatisfying, so it actually takes you more work to have that cookie, then it's just gonna make you think. Honestly guys, I feel like this really helped me in the past when I was trying to go through my weight loss journey and before I lost my 40 pounds. I feel like if I had an extra fries, I would do an extra 20 minutes of cardio. I didn't look at it as a punishment. I looked at it as something that had to be done. I wanted to burn the excess calorie. It depends on your personality. If you're the type of person who's gonna look at it as a punishment and you're gonna treat yourself negatively, I don't want you to think like that. So don't do that. The method may not work for you. But if you're the type of person who can look at it and be like, you know what, I had this excess calorie, I need to get rid of it, I'm gonna do it. But in this example that I used, it kind of works like a punishment, so I talk about it as a punishment. So I leave it up to you to decide if this is something that you can actually benefit from or not. Atomic Habits by James Clear is one of my favorite books. He actually goes through all the strategies that he knows and he has used and his clients have used in the past to create good habits and get rid of the bad ones. So if you're young and you're looking to be limitless, make sure you look into this book, purchase it, buy it. It's also an Audible and you can listen to it as an audiobook, which is what I did. I really hope you enjoyed this video and application of his book to weight loss. Make sure you let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, and follow for more videos. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of my journey. See you next time.